Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it might be. I'm going to do a ship build here. My ship build, the ship I primarily use in Darkstar. I'm doing a voiceover here, so the first part here we're going to cover is the place your own door section. When you using Darkstar and you go use the Ravager ship, I'm not sure on the other ship, but on the Ravager ship, you won't see a door if you have the place your own door. So you have to turn off the load your own doors, or so you can see it there. Place your doors yourself. Place doors yourself. It's turned off when you're using the default Darkstar ship. When I build my ship, I have to turn it back on, so I have to change my load order. And that's what we're doing here, is changing the load order and turning on doing my own doors. Place your own doors, whatever it was. Okay, so now we're going to go back in. It's going to give us the little warning that we changed the load. And we're going to go back in. Now, with Darkstar here, when you use the Darkstar ship builder, you get to choose what you see in those menus. And that's what I'm doing here, is I'm going to choose to see Stroud stuff and Theo stuff. And of course Darkstar stuff. And I'm not using any Demos or Hope Tech stuff, so I'm going to put Nova in there only because I used the thrusters from the Nova thrusters, side thrusters. And of course we're going to do everything, all the above. Pardon the background noise. That's money coming in. Okay, so we got everything set up now. Now we got to purchase the ship. So we're going to go buy a ship first. And we're going to buy the, what's it called? The Dragon. We'll see it in a second here. Dragonfire, there it is. Dragonfire 2. And you'll notice it's 288,000. But also notice that I have 1 million. That's usually when I start this build. Once I get my first 1 million, you'll see there my credits are over 1 million. And that's when I usually do this build, when I get over 1 million, my first 1 million. So we bought the ship. Now we're ready to edit it. And go back into the ship builder, and this time we're going to go into where we can edit the ship in the ship builder. Now I'm not a ship builder. I don't sit around and build ships. This is the only ship I think I've ever built, is this one. So don't expect me to fly through this, because as I said, I don't sit around building ships. So I'm taking off all the stuff I'm not going to be using, leaving the stuff basically using it as a template. And you get refunds on all this stuff if you'll notice the numbers changing up there. So you get money refunded when you're basically selling this back to them, this stuff, so they give you credit for that. So that helps you with your cost. So I'm going to use the same entryway and the same docking port. So I'm putting the docking port in place there where I'm going to want it. That's why I left that last hab down there, so I could hear when it clicked in place. And it's right between the two landing gears that are currently there that we won't be using, but They're just there as placemats right now. Taking off all the stuff we're not going to need or use. And we're only going to use 3 of those helium tanks. And we got rid of all the other ones. I think those are 250 each. Or 175, whatever they are. We get it. I think we get around 600-700 total helium-3 with those 3. I don't remember the exact number. All right, so what are we gonna do first here? There's the doors. And you have to hit the Z if you never use this. You hit the Z to get different stuff. You know, you get ladders, you get doors that go left and right, or port and starboard. For anyone that don't know, port is a 4-letter word, and the word left is a 4-letter word. So if you ever get confused, remember left and port are both 4-letter words, so port is left. Okay, so there's going to be 4 levels on this ship. 4 levels. So that ladder piece I just bought was a ladder 4. So it covers 4 levels. And with these place your own doors, you don't have to worry about doors that go to docking ports or to cockpits, because those doors are automatic. They just happen. You don't have to place them. So here we're getting together 2 pieces, 2 2x1 halves. I'm using a computer core that handles 4 crew staff, and then in front of that I'm going to have an armory right by the docking port. The docking port will actually come into the armory. Okay, so I'm going to put a door between those 2 halves. And again, on the door thing, when it says a front door or a back or aft door, aft is, of course, is the back side. And it's when the door is open, where the mass of the door resides when it's open. So if you get a door that says it's a front, then that means when the door is open, the mass of the door will be on the front side of the door. Okay, so we just put our ladder, our 4-level ladder there on the lowermost floor. It's on top of the hab there, the little red square there. So that's a 4 ladder place mark. Now we're going to do the landing gear, and of course we're going to use Darkstar landing gear, because with Darkstar landing gear, this big old ship can function perfectly with only 4 landing gears, because the stats are better on the Darkstar landing gear. Yeah, I'm not going to get into all that stuff on how much better. I think they're twice as good. The thrust is higher and blah blah blah. So we only need 4 landing gear instead of making the ship look like a caterpillar. Okay, so there we got our new landing gear. Get rid of the old landing gear. And if you pause the screen real quick, you can see, when I grab those things, what their stats are, and you can see the difference if you check it out while I'm highlighting or moving or whatever, any of those things. Okay, so now we're going to look for the reverse thrusters, or braking engines, or whatever you want to call them. Okay, so we got our 2 front landing gear and our 2 front brakers, and that's it as far as the braking goes. All right, so what we're going to do next, we're going to work on the 3x2 or 2x3, whatever it is. Yep, that's gonna be the galley. Okay, there we go. And then, what do we do next? On top of that, the 2x2, no? Oh, we're gonna put the hole for the ladder. Okay, so that's just called a hole. On the next level, we just put a hole there on that ladder position, so the ladder will continue through that layer. So it's called a hole. Okay, so yeah, looks like we're gonna do the 2x2 now, and that's gonna be the command. What's it called? The command center? We'll find out in a second. Battle stations. That's what it is. Battle stations. Okay. And that's our third level. Now we're going to build out a 1x1 companionway there that's going to go up, and it's going to go forward too into that command center. Or battle stations, excuse me. So it's going to need a hole on top for the ladder. It's going to need a door on the front to go into that battle stations hab. Coffee. Okay, so that's a port and starboard door. There's a bow and aft door. We're going to put that on the front. There we go. I'm going to put a hole on the top, a ladder hole. And again, we're hitting the Z, the letter Z, to get that to change up there, whether it's ladders or doors. Okay, all right, so we're going over here. I'll put that on top. There we go. We double click it to mark everything, and then we move it all over there and put it in place. Okay, so we got 3 levels so far. We got the left side as far as halves. The left side is done. And I'm gonna move some stuff into place here. Put a tank there. Gone and get rid of that reactor and put a new one in. Because notice that reactor didn't have much power compared to the one we're going to put in there. Okay, so you can see Darkstar. Usually if you go to the bottom of the list, it's the best stuff, and it's usually, you can tell by the pricing as well, that more expensive usually means better. But they have half heights reactors, they have full heights reactors, all kinds of different, and you can page through them and have the exact same stats but have a different look. Like I got a half height there because at some point someone told me that you could see in the grab jump reactor, is it? Grab jump reactor, whatever it's called. Grab drive. You could see it. So I built it this way, and sometimes I put a window on the back side of that hab that that walkthrough, that 1x1. I'll put one of them portals on there, and supposedly you can see the reaction in the grab drive. So, I don't know. I've never went to look back there. I mean, don't know. I don't know the whole story on that, but that's kind of the reasoning why I built it the way I did there. Because if I ever figure that all out, I'll see if that's a thing or not. Anyway, okay, so we got all our doors in place for the left side. Notice there's 3 doors on the second level, and there's only 1 door on the top level, because the top level goes into my captain's quarters, and that's kind of hopefully kind of a limited use area. And you'll see, and I actually have my own private armory back there as well. So the only way you can get to my private armory is going through the captain's quarters, and that's why there's only 1 door up there on the 3rd level. But there's 3 doors on the bottom level, because the door on the middle level there, or I should say the 2nd level, coming up from the bottom, there's got 3 doors on the 2nd level, and that's going to be for a workstation and an infirmary, and it's going to have 3, because those 2 farthest towards the back doors on the side there, one goes directly to the ladder that goes down to the docking port, and then the door in front of that goes to the normal entry, not the docking port, but the other entry bay. Okay, so we got those 2 in place. Again, that's a workstation, a workroom, and an infirmary. Okay, so now we're going to put the captain's quarters and the quote-unquote private armory. Okay. That's 1. Two. Okay. There we go. Got a door. Got my level messed up there. No big deal. Double click those to mark it all. And move it up to position. There we go. Okay, so that's all the habs for the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd level. Now, we're going to get into cargo stuff. Now, this is one of the cool things about Darkstar. This is cargo stuff we're going to mess with now. You notice there's 2 selections there for Darkstar, and one has like 500 or whatever, and the other one has 1,000. So it's the small versions and the bigger versions. So we just use our left and right here. We pick this, and what looks like a standard equipment mount is actually a storage, and it also helps with the. I believe it helps with the. Let's see. The hull, yep, it gives you a little bit on the hull too. Okay. And this is weapon mounts. These are both weapon mounts, but they're also cargo and hull. So that's kind of a cool thing, because normally these things have nothing to do with cargo. cool that you get 1,000 cargo on each one of these things, and so they're dual purpose. And you'll see I littered the top of the ship with those in the end, because each one of those is, not only are there equipment mounts, but there are also 1,000 storage in each one of those. Okay, what else we got here? Oh, we got the big one now, the big storage coming up. This is what, 7,000 something? And this is kind of like the mainstay of the storage here. We just littered it. Every empty space here is going to be filled with one of those. Okay, that's that side. On the back. There we go. Okay, now the back landing gear. There we go. Oh. There we go. Okay, so 4 landing gears total. That's all we need. Alright. More storage. In case you didn't notice, you might notice that shield device is it's in the center of this ship. It's going to be covered, so they can't hit my shield unless they just throw up parts of my ship first. Because the shield will be totally covered all the way around when we get done here, as well as the reactor and the grav drive, or all that stuff is inside in the middle, covered on all 4 sides. Okay, so I got our engines picked out here. Again, you saw me just scroll through them. They all have the same stats. They just have different looks. What kind of look do you want on your engine, or how's it going to fit in your design? So this is the one I picked for this design. Got 4 engines in there that are going to use a total of 12 power. Okay, now we're putting, what the heck are we putting now? I think we're looking for the side thrusters. And that's where the Nova comes in. Okay, there's a side thruster. I'm gonna put one in the back as well. And we need 4 side thrusters. And there we got 4 side thrusters. Okay. Looks like we're going to work on the 4th floor, which will start out with a 3x1 engineering. There we go. That's our 4th floor, the top of our ladder there. Ladder that runs all 4 floors, all the way from the docking port to the top of that front of that engineering hab. Okay, so we're going to put a door here for our, we're going to put living quarters up here on top. First one is going to be a 2x2, and it's going to be all-in-one berths, I think. Yeah, 2x2 all-in-one. There we go. Now we're going to need a door over here on the side to come over to another 2x1 living quarters. And we're going to put a port door. There we go. Living quarters. 2x1 living quarters. Sometimes I'll put captain's quarters there. But alright. That's all the halves. Now, looks like we're going to put these equipment / storage pieces all over the top. There we go. And we're going to put the Darkstar cockpit, that cabin, the Darkstar version of that cockpit. The cockpit is the cabin cockpit. We'll go up to Darkstar here, and we'll just scroll through all the cockpits till we get the one we want. There it is. And you see it's got some buffs there. Got some shielded storage and some cargo storage and blah, blah, blah. And it's got some stuff that the other cockpit didn't have. Okay, so now we need some weapons. Oh, we're gonna put the portal on first, I guess. Okay. And the portal, and when you use these doors, you have shutters. Whenever you put a window or whatever, you need to put a shutter behind it. And this on the fore and the aft. I get confused which is which. If I remember correctly, it's the opposite of what you think it is. So if you're putting it in the front, I'll select aft usually. I don't know. I have to go look. Once I get inside, I would have to look and see if I did it right. Really, it works either way, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so are we going to do weapons now? Let's see here. Yep. Lots of Darkstar weapons. A whole lot of dark. I'm not going to go through all that. I'm just going to do the ones that I normally do once I figure them out. Most of these top ones here are basically torpedoes or missiles. Okay, so there's my obliterator, which is my Mark 10 obliterator, and it's the XPB. The X is on your Darkstar stuff, is the higher level stuff, and the Mark 10 is the higher level stuff. Or I should say highest level. Notice I'm scrolling through the different, they're all the same stats, but you can pick what you want the weapon to look like. So you can just scroll through there until you see a design that you like. And so just with Darkstar, just because you see it and you think you know what it is, that don't work, because you can make it look however you want. Okay, so these are each going to use 2 power, so we're going to take 6 of those, because they're 2 power each. And then we'll put them in place. Okay, and those 6. And those were the obliterators. Let's see, the next one is the disintegrator. Yeah. Gonna pick out which one we think we want, what design we want. Then we'll need 2 of those, because they use 5 power each, so that'll be 10 power for those 2. And for our turrets, we have, what's it called? The Defender, I think, is the one I use. Where is it? Oh, I think he passed it. I think I passed it back there. There, got that one. There, Defender. Yep. Mark 10 and a XP. Yep, that's the one. And it's good for 5,200 meters, or 57, or whatever it is. Okay, so we got 2 of those. I'm gonna orientate one facing forward and one facing backwards. go. And then go up on top here. And that's it. We got our weapons in there. That's all the weapons and all of our. Let's see. We got to use the side. We need the side covers here. Well, I really only put them on because of the helium being exposed like that. So that's what made me decide to put those side. I could have just put one, but anyway, I put 6 to give it kind of more of a, I don't know, more of an aesthetic appearance. I don't know what. Just having one there just seemed like it was out of place. So I put 6 there to give it a little design. In case you didn't notice, those were the Teo side shield or side panels or side something. Okay. So that's everything, I think. Now we can name it and color it. We got to designate our weapons, which button, which. I always put the turrets on the third one because the third one is for what would be missiles. That would be the G, the letter G on my keyboard, which is kind of a reach. So it's kind of nice having turrets there because in battle, I don't have to worry about hitting that G button. You know, I just use the 2 mouse buttons for firing weapons. The other ones are automatic, so I don't have to worry about hitting the G, which is kind of nice. And those turrets are pretty awesome. So I don't have to. Sometimes I don't even have to fire at all. The turret takes care of it. Okay, I can do a little bit of coloring here. And try to go to, it's hard because of the halves are kind of a darkish color, but that big storage container being white, the colors, when you can see by looking at it, just on top there, so you have that storage container looks lighter, just because it's white underneath. You can use the same color, but it doesn't look the same because it's got a white base. Okay, so is that it? I think we're done. Pretty close to it. Yeah. And that's basically it. I didn't do an inside tour of it. But that's the build. Just wanted you to see it. What all is involved with it. I know I'm a little slow with building ships compared to some of the people that do it all the time. They fly through building ships like this. Craziness. See you later. Bye.